Hi all, today we will learn about what is Maven central repository and what is Maven local repository. Uh, Before explaining what is Maven central repository and local repository, we need a one separate Java project. On the Java project, we are going to see uh, we are going to perform some we are going to run some test case, I mean run the goals like Maven clean and Maven install so that we will get to know difference between the Maven central repository and then Maven local repository. For that one, everyone need to go to this link, this GitHub link. There you can see there is in this one you can see, right? If you want, I can maximize this one, zoom in. You can see in this one there is one separate project Maven demo is there. You just go here and under the code is here you can see code. Under the code drop down, just click this drop down. When you click on it will open this one. Here you can see this copy URL to clipboard. Click this one. When you click this one, it will open, it will give this URL link. Only thing is you need to go to git bash. On the git bash, wherever you want to uh, clone that one, you need to use git clone and then that URL. Don't worry, in future I will create a separate tutorial for the git as well. So meanwhile, I'm just directly giving one command like git clone and whatever the URL we copied from the GitHub, that URL you need to use here. And then when you click on enter, it will start cloning that one. Then that project will be cloned into your local system. For example, if you see whatever the Maven demo is there, that project I have cloned here. This is the project. And here main thing is, if you see here, this is the Maven demo. This is here all the code is available. And here if you see here, the first thing is here till here we have gone to GitHub and then we have cloned that project. That is done. The next step is what is repository. Repository is nothing but the location. Its simple thing is location where our all the dependencies or jar files are existed. Dependency is nothing but the jar file. I will explain in future tutorial what is dependency, from where we need to get the required dependencies, all those information. There are so many things are there. Dependencies are there, dependency scopes are there. Everything will be covered in the next tutorial, next videos. But in this video I will give overall, I will just try to provide the information about what is repository, what is central repository, what is local repository. Repository is nothing but, as I mentioned earlier, it's a location where our dependencies or jar files existed. In the similar way, see, this is the central repository. In this central repository is nothing but the location. This is nothing, here also it is having repository, right? Location where all the jar files are existed. But central repository is nothing but the this repository is existed in the internet, not in our local system. But coming to local repository, local means whatever the repository we are going to I am telling, this repository existed in the user local system. So that's why I have mentioned it is in user computer, and this local repository is denoted with the .m2 folder. I will try to explain now. When the .m2 folder will be created in our local system, when the dependencies will be downloaded from the central repository, I will try to cover each and every point. Okay, so first thing is we need to go to uh, this project where you have cloned. Here if you see here, this is the tech underscore workspace and Maven demo. Here thing is, in this video I just want to explain this demo with command prompt. That's why I want to use command prompt here. So in this entire Maven, only one file is there, very important file, that is pom.xml file, project object model. Wherever pom.xml file is there, on that location we just need to open command prompt. Just use cmd here, it will open command prompt here. See, it will come to tech workspace Maven demo. Here only thing is, we need to check whether Maven existed or not in our local. For that one we are having one command vn hyphen version is there. See, if you see here, this Maven is existed here with 3.9.7. So now we are good to go with Maven commands here. The first thing is uh, I just want to open Eclipse for just showing what is this, what is there inside maven.xml file. Okay, here if you see here, forget about all this. These are not errors. Actually, thing is it is working fine. This some there are this Eclipse ID is having some bug. That's why it is showing this one. These errors. That's fine. We can leave for now. So if you see here, there are two dependencies I have added here. One is line number 19 to here. Let me copy these two from here to there. See, these two are dependencies. First dependency is Spring Starter Web. This is one dependency. You can see this is one dependency, and one more dependency is this one. Starter Test is there. One more dependency. Okay, and Spring Web is one more. Spring Starter is one dependency, and then Spring Starter Test is one dependency. These two dependencies we want to use in our project, but these two dependencies or jar files are not existed in our local system. So when we use Maven here, just use for now whatever the commands I'm going to type, just use those commands. I will try to explain each and every command in the future tutorial, because this is I'm going to give explanation about the repository and central repository and local repository difference now. That's why I don't want to go in depth of all the commands what I'm going to use here, but in future tutorials we will get each and everything. Here if you see men, just use install here. If you see here, when you use install, it is scanning the projects. Okay, if you see here, downloading from the central, I will tell you, I will copy each and everything, let it download all the dependencies. Okay, and then we will see. It's still downloading, still downloading. Wait, still downloading. Let it download. Yeah, you can see at the end build success. That means it's downloaded completely. Just go up, go start, go at the start of this command prompt. You can see it starts here, scanning for the projects. Okay, this is fine. And then wait, what it is scanning, it is scanning from the format xml file. So that's why I started command prompt from this location, wherever format xml file is there, the in that location I have started command prompt. So this is the main one. When it starts from the format xml file, if you see downloading from the cent, what is this, central, this line, if you see central, it is downloading from the this location. I just want to copy this location. Okay, and then let's see what is there in that location. I will tell you. Let me go to Google here. Inside Google, let me paste here. See, this is the central location. This is nothing but the Maven is given by Apache organization. That's why it starts with org.apache Maven. That's fine. Here, this is nothing but the central repository. You can see at the title as well, central repository. At the top, you can see central repository. This is the place where all the dependencies or jar files are available. So, as I told you in the note here, central repository is nothing but the location where all the dependencies jar files existed. Generally it is available over the internet. That internet location is this one. That proof also I have shown you, right, in the command prompt. For downloading each and every dependency, it is going to the central repository repo.maven.apache.org, and then it is trying to download all the dependencies whatever you have configured inside this palm.xml XML file. You can see for the first dependency Spring Boot starter, the next one is Spring Boot starter test. These two dependencies are downloading from the here central repository. That central repository is available in the internet. Okay, this is one. And then If you see here, the first time I have executed this central repository, I have executed Maven clean. So it took some time, right? It is not giving the result immediately. Let me go to, wait, is that one? Wait, it's not. Let me go down. Download all the files you can see. So now I will repeat again. Whatever the command I executed earlier, right? Same command I will try to execute. Let's see this time how much time it will take. Maven install. This time it will not take that much time. It will quickly complete this command. You can see now. See. Now let's see. I just executed Maven install here. Okay. But just scanning for the projects from where pom.xml file. After that, it is not. If have you observed any keyword like Maven Central here? See anywhere? I don't see that keyword here because you see, you can see anywhere. Did you see that one? No, we don't have that Maven Central. That means first time when we use Maven and install command, at that time only it will go to Maven Central repository. For this one, let me go to, there is one document should be available. Wait, I will explain you that in the document. So it has opened here. You can see in the user computer, this is nothing but developer. When our developer use mvn install command from the command prompt or Eclipse IDE, then the first request will go to the local repository. But this local repository, you may get out where is this local repository. This local repository is available in user system only. I am going to show you that local repository now. Let me go to, let me open a separate one here. If you see, let me go to C drive here. Inside C drive, there is a users folder is there. Inside users, one more user is there. Here, have you observed anything here? .m2 folder is there. This is the users local repository. This local repository is available here. I am just going to paste here. Okay. This is the local repository. Here in this local repository, this is repository. Here all the dependencies will be downloaded here. I am going to show you that one. Here whenever user uh, entered or used mvn install, first the request goes to the Maven will look for all the dependencies inside local repository, which is nothing but the .empty folder. For the first time, these all the dependencies will not be available inside local repository. Then Maven will go to central repository here. This central repository is available in the internet, and it will download all the dependencies whatever you have configured inside pom.xml file. Those dependencies will be downloaded into local repository. That is under the step 3. Once the local all the dependencies will be downloaded into local repository, then whenever then those dependencies will be used by the Maven in our local system. Then, for example, first time you have used mvn install, it will go to the local repository. We don't have any dependencies. Then Maven will go to the central repository and it download all the repository into local, all the dependencies into local repository from the central repository. And then Eclipse or Maven uses those dependencies. That is fine. For the second time, as I mentioned, as I told, as I shown here, this is my second time. This is my second time, right? In this second time, it's not interacting with central repository anywhere. Instead of central repository, it is interacting with local repository. That I will show you here. You can see replacing main artifactory. No, not this one. Yeah, you can see installing. It is interacting with Maven .m2 folder. This is the local repository. So for the second time onwards, Maven will not directly check the dependencies inside central repository. First, it will go to the local repository. Is there any dependency is there or not? If it is there, Maven just use that dependency. Or else, if the dependency is not there in the local repository, then only it will go to central repository and it will download the repository, local repository, and then it will use that dependency from the local repository. So this is what it is going to happen. If you want that proof, I will show you now. For example, I am going to delete that repository, whatever it is there. I'm just going to this delete M2 folder here. Let me delete this one M2 folder. Try again. Okay, it is using somewhere. Let me close this one. Okay, now let's try this one. Still somewhere it is using that one. Okay, where is that one? Close. I think something because the folder and file it's open in another program where we have opened. That's what I just want to see. Let me close this one as well. Okay, now it is closing because we are using Eclipse, right? That Eclipse is using that local repository. Now go to that user's location, see whether .m2 folder is there or not. See, we don't have any M2 folder. So now my requirement is I just want to go to software location where Maven is there. Tech workspace. Where is the tech workspace here? Let me see. I think it should be here. This is my Maven. I am just going to open again CMD where palm.xml file is there. Okay. Now I just want to use mvn install. Already we have verified we don't have any M2 folder here. Okay, I'm just going to use mvn install. Now this time whenever I use mvn install command, right, it will come to user location. It will try to verify M2 folder. As it is not there, then it is interacting with it is directly interacting with central repository, and it is downloading all the required dependencies whatever you have configured inside pom.xml file, and it is downloading those dependencies to local repository. I'm just going to use that repository now. You can see you keep on will get. If you want, I will do one more time, no problem. This is not a, you can see, for example, earlier these are not available. You can see time 22:42. Just now it is trying to download from the central repository. Okay, or else I will do one more time, no problem. I'm just going to delete this one so that you will get to know what is happening here. See now, I just want to use again mvn install here. It will start creating M2 folder. Let's see. See, it is created now. If you open, you can see now how many are there here. 22:43. Just now it is creating. See, now it has created. Now it got one more folder here. Now one, two, three, four, five are there. Let it complete. How many will come? I will show you. Still, it is still running. Yeah, it takes some time because it needs to connect with central repository, which is which is over the internet, right? And that too, it needs to download each and every dependency to the our local repository as we are connecting to the central repository for the first time. It is done. Now go to the location. Now see how many are there. Earlier four or five are there, but now more than five, right? That means for the first time it will create .m2 folder which acts as a local repository. Then for the second request onwards, as I mentioned this one, for the first request it will go to first it will search dependencies inside local repository. Those will not be available. Then interact with the Maven central repository, download those dependencies into local repository, and Eclipse or Maven use those dependencies. For the second request onwards, it will not interact with central repository. First, it will check local repository. If it is not there, then only interact with Maven central repository. This is the process Maven will follow generally. Okay, and then I have mentioned here, you can see report is repository, central repository, local repository, everything I have mentioned, and then clear, like clear explanation with this picture as well, this diagram as well. So the next session I am going to introduce one more concept called remote repository, which is generally in each and every organization we can't directly, Maven cannot directly interact with Maven central repository, because for security reasons they will maintain one more server or repository in between local repository and central repository, which is nothing but the remote repository. I will try to explain. That is very most important one, because now all the companies will use in real time. All the companies will use that remote repository instead of central repository. I will try to explain in the next session. Okay, please do like, share, and subscribe, so that I will try to introduce more concepts in the future tutorials. And one more thing is, in future I am going to give more. I'm going to make more tutorials like Linux, GitHub, Linux tutorials, Git tutorials, and then some Eclipse IDE tutorials, and Java tutorials. Everything I will try to make videos and try to upload. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you.